What's up guys, Ghost here, and today we've got some long-awaited Star Wars Battlefront gameplay. This was shown during the EA segment at E3, and if you want to watch the whole thing without me talking over it, there's a link down below. That said, what did we actually see in this trailer and how does the game look overall? So the gameplay we saw was from a multiplayer match of a 20 vs 20 game mode called Walker Assault, which took place on the ice planet of Hoth. And no, we're not talking about White Walkers. So the new game mode revolves around either defending a large AT-AT if you're playing as the Empire, or destroying it if you're a rebel. Since the AT-ATs can't be damaged by small arms, the rebels must capture uplink stations to call in Y-wing bombers and weaken the walkers. So once they're weakened, they can be damaged by blasters and other weapons to bring them down. Alternatively, you can also take the walkers down using a tow cable in a snowspeeder, which you guys will get to see later on in the video, but apparently this is quite difficult to do. Adversely, if you're playing as the Empire, your goal is to defend the AT-AT and prevent the rebels from activating the uplink stations. So it seems like a little bit of a Star Wars take on Rush. You can also be the gunner in the AT-AT for a short period of time by picking up a specific item found on the level. This time can then be increased by scoring kills. So the game mode looks pretty cool. It's asymmetrical, so you're going to have a different experience depending on which side you play. Now the trailer itself was very impressive. I feel that DICE nailed the sound design and the gunplay. Even without actually playing the game, the weapons, explosions, and blaster shots just look and sound really meaty, and it feels like it'd be very satisfying to use them. Something I think that's very important in an FPS experience. The graphics are stunning, to say the least, perhaps not quite as good as when we saw them in the previous trailer, but they're certainly up there with the rest. I did notice the HUD looks quite simplistic when compared to most games out there. There's more of a radar or motion sensor rather than an actual minimap, and it seems to only display positions of other players. Your health meter only appears when you take damage, and your health regens extremely fast, so it's nowhere near as the regen in Battlefield 4. The weapons or inventory pane on the right hand side of the screen kind of looks like something you might find in a tablet or a mobile game. I find that kind of strange. I don't really see the need for it to be so large and cumbersome and take up so much screen space. And also the scoring system, that also seems to be something quite similar to Battlefield 4's model. So it looks like each character does indeed have 3 gadgets or ability slots, and then 1 reserved for pickup and carryable items. Here we can see a grenade being thrown, which looks amazing, by the way. I love the way it sort of implodes and then explodes outwards. Really gives it that feel of being from another world. And then later on in the video, we see a rebel using a jetpack to get safety before he gets trampled by a walker, and then turns around and fires a smart rocket he picked up to take down the AT-ST there. So next we get a clip of piloting the AT-AT. It seems this vehicle has 3 different weapons. They look to be light lasers, heavy lasers, and an orbital strike ability, which just destroys these poor guys on the ground. Let's hope it won't be too OP. AC-130 in Battlefield 3, I'm looking at you. We also get a look at some of the pilotable aircraft in the game, which I know some of you guys will take special interest in. So here we see a snowspeeder, which seems to have some sort of boost ability. You can also see what appears to be a speed gauge at the bottom. Not sure how that works. Perhaps it affects accuracy, or perhaps it's simply to display how turning and cornering will affect your speed overall. Next, we have a bit of dogfighting between an Imperial TIE fighter and an X-Wing. It looks extremely fast-paced and very exhilarating, just the way they're portrayed in the movies, so I think DICE really got it spot on here. It is going to be interesting to see what sort of handling mechanics they implement for the air vehicles within the game though, given the current changes that are going on within Battlefield 4. So lastly here, towards the end of the video, we get to see 2 iconic Jedis going at it, Darth Vader and his son, of course, Luke Skywalker. We get to see one of his abilities, some sort of force push, before he engages Darth Vader in what I can only assume is an epic lightsaber duel. So there you go guys, finally we've gotten to see a bit of gameplay of Star Wars Battlefront. What did you think? Let me know down below in the comment section. If you enjoyed this little breakdown of the video, then leave me a like down below. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.